Hello, dear students. Welcome to the first lecture of unit number 3, that is Managing Software Project. Now, what do you mean by a software project actually that we have studied in the previous chapters? Project is a very big or a large picture of a small program that you are developing, and something you are delivering is a work product. Now, this work product you are supposed to manage. So, managing software projects is actually divided into two different parts. First is manage during the development phase, and second is managing the project after it has been delivered to the client in form of after service. Now, these two topics we are going to cover in managing software project in this chapter. Now, why do you require software project management? Now, you require to manage software projects because you are going to do so many things related to a project. Now, if you don't have a proper plan, things will go haphazard. It is like your exam timetable that you are going to use in order to prepare your subjects. So, if you don't have a proper plan, you may not be able to get good marks in the exam. The same thing happens to be the position of the software too. So in this chapter, you are going to learn all the management techniques which are required to plan, to organize, to monitor, and to control the software project that you are developing. So what you can do is you can find answers of the various questions like how many people you are supposed to allot in a project, what kind of processes you should follow in a project, what kind of problems are going to come in the project so that you can manage them properly, what are the software metrics and how these metrics can be used to manage a software, to develop a software. Then it helps you to generate reliable estimates. Now, estimate means a rough idea of this much things will be required. In this case, these many resources will be required. How much effort will be required? What will be the cost of development of the project? Then what will be the phase or duration of the project development? Will it be 5 weeks? Will it be 1 month? Will it be 15 days? Will it be 5 to 6 months? Will it be a year project? So you are deciding duration, cost, effort, how many people, what technical skills, all these things are estimated. Then it can also be used to assess the risk that can come when you are developing the project. If the risk becomes a reality, then what will be the results of the risk happening? Then how can you nullify the effects of the risk that have come? Then what does a project manager need to do? Then what are the various engineering tasks that he will undergo when the project is to be planned? Then what kind of a project schedule you should make? How can you monitor where you are in your program or in your development phase? How many milestones you have already covered and how many you have to cover in what period of time? Then how you can give a good quality and how you can deliver your software timely. And after you have developed your software, after you have delivered it to the client, why you need to maintain the software, how you will maintain the software, how you will re-engineer the software, you will reform it, and you can deliver to the best of the client. So all the above questions are very necessary to be answered for a delivery in time and a quality software. So after seeing the brief of this chapter, let us go into the details of the chapter now by moving on to project management concepts.
Project management concepts. Now, before we move on to project management concepts, we should know the W5H principle. Now, W5H principle is nothing but your principle where you are asking questions which start with why, what, when, who, where, and how much, and how will. Okay, so these are the W5H principle. Now, what is W5H principle? It is an approach addressing project objectives, milestones and schedules, responsibilities, management and technical approaches and required resources. So we can say that using W5H principle, we are addressing what your project is doing, where it is in the whole schedule that you have made, what progress you have done, what are the responsibilities of the team members, of the project manager, of the management, how you are going to tackle the technical responsibilities, or which way you are going to approach to completing the software. So let us start with the first W. It is why the system is being developed. Under why the system is being developed, you are studying the business purpose of the software. What is the business requirement in the market currently? Based on that, am I developing a proper software? Will it be useful? Am I justifying the expenditure of people, time and money by making this software? Will I get some return if I develop this system? Will I be benefited? Will larger or a target audience be large in amount, the people who will be affected by this software? This is what we are going to study in why the system is being developed, because if there is no use developing this system, there is no fruitful benefits of developing the system, there is no need to spend so much of time, so much of money, so much of manpower or resources on that system. Next is what will be done. So this is nothing but identifying your work breakdown structures. You will know what your schedule is. You are going to have your Gantt charts. You will have your critical path management. You will identify what are the milestones, where you are in the progress. You will check your progress through the timeline chart that I've completed this much. These many activities are overlapping. I need to handle them parallelly. All these things will be done in what will be done. Okay. Next is when will it be accomplished? When will it be accomplished means here you are studying your Gantt chart to find out when you are going to reach a particular milestone, because there you are in your Gantt chart you are mapping your activity with your time. Okay, so based on that you can come to know when your project will be over or when a particular part of your project will be over. So that is your tracking part. Okay, so tracking can be done easily and you can check very easily how many milestones you have accomplished. Next is who is responsible. So in who is responsible, it is the role of the higher management, it is the role of the project manager, it is the role of the customer, it is the role of the developers or the practitioners. So all these people together should know their responsibilities and should start working. So if it's an agile team, they are a self-organizing team where customer is a part of the team. So such a system of development is going to be better, is going to be more successful as compared to any other approach. So people should know their responsibility, they should willingly come ahead and take the responsibility on their own and not wait for the manager or other higher authorities to assign tasks to them. This is actually the ideal way of progressing. Next is where are they organizationally located? Now, where are they organizationally located means you are seeing the whole pyramid of where a particular user or a person who is responsible is in the pyramid. So you have a customer, you have an end user, you have other stakeholders who are directly or indirectly responsible for the outcome, and they are affected by the outcome of the project, and they are doing their responsibilities properly. So where are they located? Are they inside the organization? Are they outside and they are a part of the project? It is a third party. So all these things are to be checked when you are starting a project development, because if you are not aware of this, you may not be able to use your resources or allocate your resources efficiently. How will the job be done technically and managerially? That is what you must see before you start a project, because how you are going to do the job is very important. If you don't have a proper technical plan, if you don't have proper resources, if the management is not supporting you to create any software or a project, then your project will fail miserably. That's why support from management and a technical strategy to handle it is very important. Okay, and how much of each resource is needed? So each resource, what do you mean by resource? Resource can be in form of infrastructure, in form of manpower, in form of budget, in form of time, in form of people. So all these resources you are going to see how much is required. If you think you will require 7 people to develop a particular project, there is no need of hiring 10 people so that you have to bear expenses of 3 more people. It is going to increase your budget. So you have to efficiently use your resources, allocate them in a proper way so that you can efficiently complete your project in limited number of resources. Next, we shall see 4 P's of project management. The 4 P's are people, product, process, and project. First, we shall move on to people. Now, people is nothing but it is a kind of community, or you can say a group of people. So these people are actively involved in the participation of project discussions, in project meetings, in the development of the project, and they are, you can say, sort of stakeholders who are affected by the project development. So first you can see stakeholders, you have senior managers, you have project managers, you have developers or practitioners, you have customers, and you have people who are going to use the software. You also have team leaders. Now, what are the qualities of a team leader? A team leader must be a person who is very encouraging, who is a very innovative kind of person, and who is good at problem solving, who is able to develop or have good estimations. He has good intuitions about how your software will go on further. He should be knowing about all his team members, all the qualities of his team members. He should be able to keep them gelled well. Next is your software team. Now, software team can be a chief programmer team, democratic, or a mixed team. So you can see the structure here. This is your chief programmer team. Your chief programmer has a single project manager here, and you have software engineers working below him in a hierarchy, and they all will be reporting to a single project manager, as you can see here. This is a chief programmer team. Okay, now this has a disadvantage because they won't be communicating with each other. They will be talking to the project manager only. Okay, so intercommunication is lacking here in the chief programmer team. Okay, so here these all are chief programmers. They are main people. Okay, they will develop on their own. Next is a democratic team. In a democratic team, you have each and every software guy communicating with every other developer. So this is a better way. It is like a meshed topology. Here every member is communicating with every other team member. So this is actually a very good way of development. You can help each other well. You can share your problems. You can share your ideas or innovations, and together you can work for a common goal. Okay, and next is a mixed team. A mixed team is a combination of chief programmer and democratic. How? You can see here it is democratic because the members are communicating with each other both the ways, and you can see it's a chief programmer communication because you have senior engineers whom they are reporting to. So it is good that they are communicating with each other as well as their head. The same happens here. The senior engineers are also reporting to their heads. Okay, so in short, if heads are okay with what is happening below them, then they will report it to the main project manager, and the manager can tackle all the senior engineers. Okay, so this becomes a core lead chief programming team, and this whole structure together will become a democratic team. Okay, so it is a mixed kind of team. Next, we shall see what is an agile team. An agile team we have already studied in unit number 2. It is a highly motivated team. It is a self-organizing team. They don't wait for responsibilities to be given, but they are self-organizing. So they are coming forward and accepting responsibilities. There is a lot of communication and coordination between them. They are very adaptive kind of people. They are they know that requirements are going to change, and they are able to easily incorporate the requirements in the team. Such is a agile team. Okay, now there is a formal communication between them. There is an informal kind of communication, but some kind of communication should happen between all the teams, not just an agile team. It should be all the teams where communication takes place properly. Okay, now next, P is a product. Product is something that you can see. It is an outcome. Okay, so you should before developing a product, you should know about the objectives, about the scope, about the technical details of the product. You should also consider any alternative solution that is currently available in the market. If that solution which is there in the market is nearly equal to what you are going to deliver, then you should drop developing such a project. But if you are giving something which is very, very drastically different from what you have currently, it is going to be very fruitful, then you should develop such kind of product. You should do proper cost estimation. Cost estimation says that what is going to be a budget, or what is the final amount of developing the software or the product. You should know what kinds of risks are going to come. Okay, risks can be core team members leaving the company. Then risks can be a newly coming in technology, and you have to work on that technology where you don't have people who know it very properly. Then you should know your task breakdown. Task breakdown is nothing but your job you are breaking down into subtasks. So if I have requirement elicitation, the subtask can be you are talking to the customer. Next subtask is you are talking to the users. Next subtask is you are talking with the people in your team, okay, to gather the requirements. You are checking historical data. So these are the breakdowns of a single requirement elicitation phase. So you should be able to break down your task into small modules. Next is project schedule. Project schedule you should develop so that you are not left away in the project, or you don't know where you are in the project, and you can constantly track your project. Okay, how many milestones you have completed, how much project has been done already, how many projects are still left, how many milestones are still left to be done. Okay, next is your process. Process is nothing but it is these are the various steps that you are doing in order to develop the software. So you already have studied this. You are doing the requirement gathering. We have studied it in the previous unit. You are following the framework activities like your SDLC, that is your modeling, deployment, coding, testing, communication. Okay, so these are your framework activities. Next are your umbrella activities, where you are doing management, tracking, and control. Okay, then your task breakdown, where you are dividing it into subtasks. You are checking for quality, and after your software has been delivered, you are doing software management by providing after service, like what kind of things you require after your software has been delivered. Okay, so let us take an example of a dish TV. Dish TV you are delivering, but if there are some problems in the set-top box, or there is some problem in the software that you have developed, you need to reinstall or recheck or check for errors. Okay, next is project. Project is nothing but steps to avoid project failures in this. Okay, so project you can handle any failure that is coming in a project by avoiding any common warning signs, by understanding what could be the success factors, what can be proper planning, how you are supposed to control, how you are supposed to track the project, how you are supposed to monitor the project, what are the ways in which you can stop the project failure. what kind of risks are going to come, what kind of mitigation efforts you are going to take for minimizing the risk, or for avoiding the risks, or for solving any risk that is coming, or if a risk has already occurred, what measures you will take to come out of the risk. Okay, so all these are the 4 P's of project management. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next lecture. Thank you.